Alrighty, folks, welcome to Well That Sucks. Let's start off with number 19, DIY fail, kitty door install. I mean, cats can jump pretty high, right? Maybe you're training your cat to do one of those athletic contests. They do them for dogs. I'm sure they've tried it with cats. They're just probably a lot less cooperative. It's like, hey, cat, you want to get through here? This is your only option, dude. I'm not going to be here all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to fend for yourself. This filters away like raccoons and things like that. Raccoons certainly aren't going to be jumping that high. They're just going to be bummed scratching at the door. Expect to see a lot of this. Oh dear. Does that just end up happening from storm drains? People just tossing them on the side of the street and then it washes into drainage and then ends up in the ocean? Or are people walking on the beach with their mask and then they're just throwing it away? I want to believe that there's an innocent explanation for this, but I can't really come up with one. Hey, please don't litter. That would be great. Also, aren't masks kind of in short supply right now? Kind of a hot commodity? Like, who's just tossing them away? I think most people are kind of reusing them, or they're actually just cutting up an old t-shirt and folding it a bunch of times and making a mask. If you don't want a mask, or if you have a surplus, I'm sure a lot of people would be happy to take them off your hands and not throw them away in litter. So how about we don't be terrible, people? French nurses show off their high-quality PPE. It's going to be not high quality. I can tell by it being on the Well That Sucks subreddit that it's not going to be very high quality. Is it going to tear as she puts it on? I see. That seems kind of akin to the stuff that you pull out from, next to the toilet in a public restroom that covers up the seat. It's like tissue paper and kind of tears if you sit on it the wrong way. And then you're like, well, that didn't work very well. I'm now in contact with the seat. Why did I even bother to put this down? You can also tell based on the heap on the floor that it's not working very well if you have to put it on 5 times. And then probably as you're walking around, it's going to keep ripping. Fake Thermoscan from China that will never exceed 37 Celsius. Is it you're gonna point it at like a fire or something, and it's never gonna go beyond it? Let me guess, it's still gonna read? Ah, yes. I see. You can take off the core component, and it's basically just a random number generator. It will spit out a number somewhere between 36 and 37 degrees. Randomly, and it'll fluctuate it'll pick a starting number and then it'll apply some amount of fluctuation the longer that you hold down the trigger. Oh dear. I want to believe that this is not a reflection of the overwhelming majority of what's going on out there with companies trying to manufacture things that are helping, but inevitably there are going to be some bad actors who attempt to take advantage of the situation by quickly putting together something that's completely non-functional, knowing that in desperation, people and companies will end up buying it, hoping that it will hold them over until they can get a more secure supply in hand, only to find that it's actually something that doesn't work at all. This is me at the skating rink for my birthday party nobody came to. It wasn't due to Demonetized. It was 1995 and I had no friends. I'm sorry, man. Oh man, you're a kid too? I thought maybe this was an adulthood thing and you're like, you know what, I can take it in stride. If you're a kid and that happens, that's gonna destroy you. If only it was due to Demonetized, it would at least be a good excuse of, hey, yeah, nobody could come because they were afraid of getting sick. Kind of made sense. In fact, the roller skating rink, they were closing down indefinitely the following day, but I still wanted to come and skate. It's my birthday, That's the look of, I was really expecting people to be here. They'll still show up, right, Mom? Yeah, it's okay, honey. I definitely sent the invites to the wrong addresses. I must have messed up on my end. That's what you have to do as a parent, right? You just be like, it was my mistake. I was supposed to, I definitely didn't send all the cards to the right places. They must not have got the invite. It's totally my fault. Completely my fault, honey. All the kids would love to be here, for sure. It's supposed to be my bachelor party today. Now it's a party for one. It might feel odd later when I strip for myself. I mean, do you not strip for yourself before you go to bed? I don't feel odd doing that. It's just more comfortable to sleep like that. Which for some reason is every time I mention that, it's met with a lot of like questioning comments, as if it's somehow weird to sleep naked. You should try it sometime. It's way more comfortable than getting a wedgie or having your shirt twist around you at night. Once you try it, you'll never maybe you will go back. I don't know. There are people who for some reason prefer to have clothes on after trying both. I can't understand it, but you know, whatever. We just went into way too long of a tangent talking about sleeping naked. Sometimes a party for one is actually great. All you out there are learning what it's like to be an introvert. It's sometimes just fantastic. Not that I know how to cook, but like you can just sit at the computer, you can just eat some food, watch a show, and get distracted by other websites and pause your show every few minutes while you're still eating some food. Be productive, answer an email every now and again. You don't have to feel antisocial by in the middle of the party being like, I forgot to answer that email early. You can just do that. And there's no one to disappoint but yourself. As if demonetized and losing jobs wasn't bad enough, we just lost both cars to a tree. Happy Easter, everyone. Wow, it got a collateral. Dang, I hope that insurance covers that. Does insurance always has a bunch of weird exceptions, and I don't know if trees randomly falling on cars is covered, but I certainly hope that it is. I do worry about that sometimes, because I have a car that's parked out on the street, and I'm like, what if a tree just falls over? What if like a rock comes tumbling down the hill and just impales my car? It's a very scary thing to think about. What if the street just caves in under my car? The other side of the street, across from where my car is, has these gigantic potholes that have eroded over the rain, and they patch them, and then within 2 months they're back to gigantic holes. And I'm like, you've done a great job with your patchwork there, huh? Really good solution. 1 year ago today. What's the progress been like on repairing that? I can't believe it's been a year since then. It is actually, with everything that's going on, it seems like a great time to be doing infrastructure repairs, road repairs, because there's so many less cars on the road that it's so much easier to shut down lanes. And I would assume that, people can wear masks, stay a decent amount apart as they're working on the projects. And yet at the same time, a project that was going to be happening on the street that I live on and closing it down from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day, they abandoned that project. I was like, bro, this is the perfect time for you guys to be doing that because nobody's driving on the street. You're like hardly inconveniencing anyone at all anymore. Then they stopped the project. I was like, but you guys, are you going to start that back up? Like once traffic is back? Heck if I know. Anywho. And yeah, this actually, based on the top comment here, 2019 calamities were lame compared to 2020 calamities. Not that this was something insignificant, but I guess it kind of feels that way in comparison to what's happening across the world right now. People who worked at this cafe used to take care of this stray floof. Now every shop is closed. Floof still waits for them to open. This makes me sad. Why is the stray dog wearing a collar though? Doesn't the collar usually indicate that they have a home to go to, unless it was like that shop that put the collar on? I don't know. I feel like I usually hear about stray cats who, are in the wild and then they'll come to a place to eat on a regular basis and then leave again. Are dogs able to do that very much? You don't hear about stray dogs kind of coming and going nearly as much. Cats are much better able to fend for themselves, which is why they will take over the world someday. Maybe. I hope the dog's okay after all this. Can we get a checkup on this? Once everything is over and done with and the world goes back to normal, can we just get a follow-up post here with a happy ending? It's like, hey, the dog's okay. It's all good. No worries. I hope so. Social distancing during my birthday. Hey, someone had to be there to take the photo, right? Unless you used a tripod. Once again, God, maybe it's just because I'm an introvert. I am happy to have a solo thing. I'm so happy to have a solo party. I don't know if you consider it a party at that point, but I do. All right? I could even go to the gym in the other room and in the middle of the party be like, you know what? I feel like moving heavy objects. and then I could eat cake and feel less guilty after the fact. That is the best kind of party you could have. My submission for dumbest way to injure yourself. I burnt my hand taking tomato soup out of the microwave. The toast I was making popped up and it scared me. I can totally see that happening. I replaced a light bulb a couple weeks back on the outside of my house. And so I have some lights at the front of my house that are timer based. And I thought this light was also running on that same timer, and they only turn on at night. So I placed the bulb into the thing, and it turns on, and I freak out, and I just release it immediately. Before I've even screwed it in, it turns on. It shatters on the ground, goes underneath these steps that I can't reach into, and I'm like, cool, I just got a shattered light bulb in there now. But I was like, I didn't realize that this particular light, which looks like all the rest of them, has an independent switch that was inside the garage and was turned on. And I was just, nice. Cool. That's great. Thanks for that. So I could totally see how you get like startled by toast popping up or something. We're in this together. Man gets a tattoo he found on his pup, not knowing it means he's neuter. I've never heard of this before. I didn't know that dogs were given tattoos after they were spayed or neutered. Oh man. So it must have been like a stray dog. I don't know. You didn't look up what does it mean if my dog has a tattoo? Because I've never seen that before. I'd sure as heck be confused. And if I found a dog that had a tattoo on, I'd be Googling like, my dog has a tattoo. Do people do this? And then probably would have gotten to the bottom of it pretty quickly before tattooing it on my own body. Figure out what it means first. Oh man. Went into my attic looking for a water leak coming into my living room, and it appears that I'm also in quarantine with whatever this monstrosity left behind. It's soft to the touch, so I'm assuming it's still around. Excuse me, what? Oh my god. Oh, I'd be so paranoid. What kind of snake is this? I'd be like Googling things to become a snake expert so that I could identify a type of snake by the shedding that it leaves behind. What if this is a rattlesnake? What if this is some kind of super duper venomous snake and it's living in my attic and I have to worry about this when I go to sleep? I wish that I didn't discover this at all. I'd rather just not know that it existed, honestly. I'd rather just have it sneak up on me in the middle of the night without realizing, rather than try to sleep knowing it could sneak up on me. That's just awful. Apparently my post isn't appropriate for DIY, so I'll share with y'all. I installed my microwave oven today and saved $150 in install fees. It's like, wait, how do we go from the DIY subreddit to, well, that sucks? I'm confused. I see. That's, man. Well, I guess, you know, on the plus side, for me having a stove with flames, yeah, my stove can't shatter. I've never heard the phrase of someone being like, yeah, I shattered my stove. I'd be like, you what? How do you do that? That's, oh God, that's a bummer. Oh, and now, especially during a time where like you might need to be cooking from home more than you would usually be doing. Well, at least you got the microwave installed, right? Like, you can use that as an alternative. Instead of mac and cheese in the pot, you can just, you can microwave Easy Mac, right? There are options here. Governor just ordered all non-life-sustaining businesses to close, including construction and contractors. This is the current state of my only bathroom. Yeah, I feel like, see, this is what I was talking about, is that like I'm really worried something in my house is gonna go haywire or break, and no one's gonna even come to fix it. I think they're still allowed to here, but nobody's gonna want to. They're probably not gonna want to come into my house. They'd be like, I'm worried, I could get it. So, I hope it's attached to the sewage line at least. Because if it's not, yeah, I don't know. You wanna, what do you do? Oh God. Yeah, what do you do for number 2? That's a problem. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a good answer here. Like, this takes the toilet paper crisis and really makes it look like not much. U.S. weekly initial jobless claims. Yeah, I've seen this chart before. It gets not particularly good. Later, like the last few weeks, a little concerning, and yeah, the chart's just gonna, yeah, it's gonna be wild to look back on this in the history books and see this chart. There are going to be kids in school who are not really going to realize the significance of what's happening once things return to normal. And then they're going to see charts like this and be like, or there's going to be rougher times ahead. And they're going to look back and be like, oh, it was worse that one time. Yeah. Or maybe things they're continually worse events. It seems like every year likes to one-up the last year. So who knows what 2021 holds in store, yeah? Oh, I'm worried. And the top for the last month in 2015, a Texas plumber who sold his truck to a dealership found out that the decals were not removed when it ended up in the hands of Demonetized. Wow. Oh, God. Oh my God, top comment. I don't live too far from this store. He had to shut down due to all the death threats. Apparently he had sold the vehicle to a dealership who sent it to an auction. And then I'm sure it's hard to monitor who it goes to after that. Oy. It's like, I mean, at the same time, guys, you really think that someone who runs a plumbing shop would like knowingly sell their vehicle to them? You think they'd be like,
yeah, it seems like a good deal. Of all the buyers that I could probably get, like, you seem like the best ones I could sell it to. You
doesn't make sense. No one would knowingly do that. And I guess, oh God. Yeah, that's a real well that sucks. I can see why that's top for the last month. Can you imagine like being the owner of that plumbing shop and you're like, that's my truck. That's all right. Well, that's it. That's all right. My business is done. And you're like, I did nothing you had control over. Oh God. Well, that's it for the last month of Well That Sucks. I hope you've enjoyed. Maybe it's made you feel better. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to keep watching more. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like if you liked, and I'll see you next time.